Greetings, welcome ladies and gents, I'm just Super Gamer, and welcome back to another episode of... This week I decided to go from one PlayStation mascot to another PlayStation mascot with Spyro the Dragon on PS1.
Spyro the Dragon was created by Insomniac Games and was released in 1998, 1 month before Crash Bandicoot 2 was released. I was originally planning on reviewing Spyro 1 when Spyro the Reignited Trilogy on PS4 was set for September, but since it was delayed to November, nothing's changed. I'm still going to look at the first game in the series for PlayStation Month. Now, I have only ever played one Spyro game prior to this review, and that was The Legend of Spyro the Eternal Night on DS. But since this is a collectathon game, and if you know me, I love collectathons, how will does Spyro 1 hold up? Let's find out. This is Spyro the Dragon on PS1. Oddly enough, Spyro 1 opens with two dragons being interviewed on television. 'Cause TV exists in this world apparently. Anyway, the dragons talk about their homeland, the Dragon Kingdom, and about Gnasty Gnorc, calling him an ugly, simple-minded creature. Coincidentally, Gnasty Gnorc is watching the broadcast live and gets so offended by the dragon's comments that he turns the inhabitants of the Dragon Kingdom into crystal, leaving only a small dragon named Spyro. It's up to him and his companion Sparx to travel the Dragon Kingdom and free all of the dragons while putting a stop to Gnasty Gnorc's forces. The story of Spyro 1 is honestly pretty ridiculous, but it's ridiculous in a good kind of way. I mean, the reason that all this is even happening is just so absurd I can't help but laugh at it, so it gets a pass from me. Graphically, Spyro 1 actually holds up really well. I mean, sure, technology has improved since 1998, but I do believe that this is one of the best looking PS1 games I've played thus far on the show. Granted, that list has only 3 games on it, but Spyro 1 still really impresses me with its character models and art direction. The soundtrack, on the other hand, is honestly pretty forgettable for me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just whenever I go back and listen to the music in this game, I cannot remember a single track from it. I don't know, I guess I just prefer Crash's style of music more than anything. Finally, the voice acting for Spyro 1 is... passable. It's not really anything special, but it does its job fine enough for what it is. Spyro the Dragon is a game where the main goal is to locate all the dragons and free them by simply touching them. Your abilities include breathing fire, obviously, ramming into things, and gliding. The main collectible that you want to find in levels are gems, which are crucial to complete this game 100%. Some gems will require you to find a key that opens up a chest, with gems hiding inside of them. The enemies in this game will require different means of defeating. Most enemies can be killed easily, however, some of them require you to specifically breathe fire or ram through them respectively. There are also certain stages where you actually fly and finish certain objectives all under a time limit that can be filled up by collecting the things in those objectives. Now, the gameplay is honestly pretty simple, but that's my biggest problem. Spyro 1 is a little too much of a breeze for me. Not to say it can't be challenging on occasions, because it can, but the platforming in this game is just not very memorable for me, at least when compared to other 3D collectathons I played. Granted, I still had fun with Spyro 1, but I definitely could have used a more challenging game as a whole. Especially when you take the bosses into consideration. The bosses are an absolute joke, and they're completely forgettable as well. That seems to be a running theme for this game. I enjoyed the experience, but by the time I got to the third world, I was actually starting to get bored of it. Probably because it doesn't have the challenging platforming and great writing of games like Banjo-Kazooie, Yooka-Laylee, and Jak and Daxter. Overall, this review ended up being a lot shorter than I thought it'd be, and that's purely because Spyro the Dragon on PS1 is a decent 3D collectathon. It's bright, colorful, has a silly premise, and it's really fun to just run around and collect stuff. I just wish it left more of an impact on me, because I really didn't think too much of this game. I'm hoping that the sequels will improve upon this and make the experience more memorable for me. With that said, I'm going to give Spyro the Dragon a 4 out of 5.
Until then, I'm the Super Gamer, and tune in next week for the finale of PlayStation Month, where I take a look at Ratchet & Clank for the PS2. Bye-bye!